I do apologize for the background sound. Remember, I live right next to a highway, so it's very loud. There's motorcycles, cars, dogs in the background, a lot of noise, so I do apologize, and that's mainly why I don't do any commentaries anymore. If I do end up doing a commentary, it has to be very late at night, and that's obviously not good for me. I end up very tired from all that work, and the last thing I want to do is do any commentary at 3 at night or 2 at night. Now, if we talk about the adaptation for Skull Island for Netflix, a lot of people might get angry for my opinion, but you guys know that I like to keep it 100 with you, being honest, even if the truth hurts. And honestly, I did not enjoy this anime at all. I thought it was very poorly done. Story-wise, it was kind of okay, but at the same time, it felt like a totally different version of the Skull Island, like a multiverse, right? There's certain things that happen in this anime that don't make sense and almost ruin the backstory that we already knew from Skull Island and from the other legendary movies. They kind of contradict each other, and this is something that I really don't like about it. Even though I've watched all the movies, I've read the comic books, going into this anime feels like a totally new storyline, different from the movies, different from the storyline that we already knew, and it doesn't make sense. It's almost as everything got reset to zero, right? And the monster designs were mediocre. Honestly, some of them were okay, but at worst, most of them were pretty damn bad. It's almost like they didn't pay any attention to detail to those monsters, and they just randomly put multiple pieces together to create just monsters that don't look anything good. And by monsters, I know they're supposed to look crazy looking, yes, but there's a difference between being creative and being lazy. Why couldn't they go back to the comic books and get those monsters that weren't ever used? Why not use concept art that look really impressive with monsters that we've been wanting? Think about it. Why not even get artists out there that have great imagination? There's fan art out there for Skull Island, for Godzilla, for so many things, and it looks so much better. Why couldn't they hire people that had those creative ideas? Instead, we get a bunch of monsters that look so boring, very generic, nothing impressive. If anything, maybe the crocodile was the only one that looked impressive. And at the same time, why not use dinosaurs? Why not give us things that we've been wanting for such a damn long time? Even the final boss was this mix of squid, giant bird, giant, I don't know what it was. Whatever that thing was, that was not a boss. I don't consider that to be anything special. It looks so damn awful. It was a really awful design, and no disrespect to those artists, but I think they could have done a much better job. I feel like this anime felt so rushed. The story was at best okay. And here's the thing, I think the creator, aka director, told everybody if we wanted season 2, we have to keep watching this anime, and I just don't agree with that. I don't agree with any of that. People will watch something that's actually enjoyable, something that's actually good, but your anime just wasn't good enough. I'm just gonna be honest. It wasn't even solid, and for people out there getting butthurt of what I think, then that's on you. I really don't care. I'm just giving you my honest opinion. This anime was not good. If you compare this anime to Godzilla Singular Point, if you compare it to the Gamera one that looks even more impressive, if you compare this to other animes out there, this is way behind in terms of storyline, in terms of animation, in terms of visual effects, in terms of so many things. It feels like a very old style anime, and maybe that was their idea to give us a classic type of vibe of anime, but still, that doesn't mean that the story is any good, because it's not. The storyline was not good. It was very confusing. I don't even know when this is supposed to take place. There's no indication. Maybe there is, but I didn't pay much attention because honestly, I was falling asleep. I didn't enjoy this at all, and for people that did, bravo. Like, I really do give you props if you did enjoy this anime, if you did love those designs, but I think otherwise. Like, another gripe about this is why couldn't they explore on the lore that was already set upon? Why couldn't they tell us more about the Skull Island backstory, those creatures, the skull crawlers, what happened to Kong's parents with the Great War? Even though we know a little bit because of the comic books, why couldn't they use this anime to tell it? It's called Skull Island for a reason, but instead of focusing on Skull Island, it focuses on the characters more than anything. And I'm gonna be honest, if you are coming into this anime expecting a lot of fights, you're gonna be disappointed. More than anything, this is about humans, and towards the last two chapters, it's more about fights, but the fights are very disappointing. To be honest, I didn't like them. The only fight that I enjoyed was probably the last one, which was Kong against that giant squid bird. But still, Kong has a solid design, I would say. I mean, it's recognizable as Kong, but still it looks kind of different. And I don't know, there's so many questions that I'm very confused. Now, the Skullcrawler was such a clickbait. Honestly, what we saw in the teaser trailers and the trailers, that's honestly everything we see in the final story with the Skull Island adaptation for Netflix. Literally, you only see the Skullcrawler for a few seconds, maybe a minute. That's about it. And there's no backstory on them either. I mean, there's so many things they could have done. They could have shown us the tigers. They could have shown us all the creatures that were left for the concept art. They could have explored so many things that we wanted to know from the original movie. So many things that were left untold. But instead, it's like they reset everything and forget about the storyline almost, and forget about everything that had happened previously, and they just go on fresh. I mean, at times, I gotta say, there is episodes where the anime looks really beautiful. You can tell they put a lot of care into it with the animation, with the movements, the sharpness, how beautiful it looks in the background. But I gotta say, if they are trying to compete and they are trying to impress people, they have to do a lot better. Comparing this to Singular Point, no competition. Singular Point Godzilla is much better in so many ways. The storyline was interesting, very badass animation. Everything was so good about it. There's hardly anything bad. You understood the storyline, you understood what was happening. But here, it's, I don't know, guys. I know it sounds like a bad review, but I'm just being truthful. I didn't enjoy this at all. Now, on the bright side, if there's ever a season 2, because obviously the director wants us to watch it for the ratings to go up and for them to get back their money. But look, if there's a season 2, it's gonna be much better. That's what I think. If you compare any seasons out there from any movie or series out there, right? Season 1 always starts out very slow. There's hardly anything happening. It's meant to give you the backstory of what's happening at that moment. And then season 2 and 3 is where things pick up. So my guess is probably season 2 is going to deliver much better animation, much better storyline, much better monsters and fights and everything that we've been wanting alongside season 3. If that ever happens, again, there's no confirmation for any season 2 or 3. That's just my wishful thinking, obviously. But let me know what you honestly think. Did you enjoy the monster designs? Did you enjoy the storyline? Did you enjoy everything about this anime? Because I gotta say, if I was to rate this from a 1 to 10 on a rating scale, right, I would give it probably a 3.5. That's my honest thoughts, my honest review. There's good things that happen, like maybe the human storyline, but I don't think most of us are here for the human storyline. It's called Skull Island for a reason, right? It's supposed to focus on the backstory with Kong, his parents, what happened in the past, present, future, multiple monsters, and I feel like this anime just failed and didn't deliver on those expectations. And I don't want to be too hard on this anime, but I'm just being honest. And like I said, it wasn't all that bad. There's episodes where the animation was great, there's episodes where the story was very entertaining, but most of the damn episodes just felt short. It felt very empty, confusing, and I felt like monsters could deliver much more epic fights. Now, the thing that I am very impressed of, and I wasn't expecting this, is how much blood you actually get to see. I thought there wasn't going to be any blood, and there's a lot of blood in this battle. I meant to say battles with Kong and those monsters that he gets to fight, with the shooting and everything. I like that idea. I like that they're not holding back in the rated R type of thing, or they're leaning towards a more, mature type of content where they don't hold back. If monsters chop off your leg, then that's what you're going to see. I like that idea. I really do. And that's something that we've been asking for a very long time with Kong or even Godzilla, right? We've been wanting to see epic battles where you see blood, you see them tearing themselves apart in each battle, right? And I really like that about this anime, that at least you do get to see how each monster gets damaged, how each monster feels pain, and they get back up, and you see all those scars, you see them bleeding. I like that idea, okay? I really do. That's a plus for them. And like I said, I really do hope they deliver better animation, a better story, and they keep focusing more on the lore of the Skull Island and Kong. We want to see more on that side instead of giving us things that we don't really care and that were really never part of the MonsterVerse or the Skull Island backstory, okay? There's a lot of story to be told from the comics, from so many things that we've been missing, and I think this animation has potential, but if they keep going on this direction, it's not going to take us anywhere. And I'm sorry, but this series is gonna fail if they don't do anything to change this backstory and do a better job. Instead of giving us lazy work, give us something creative. Innovation is always going to be the key for anything out there. Give it your best. I know there's talented people in there. I know you guys can do better, story-wise, anime-wise, and I mentioned it pretty much. I think that's pretty much it for me. I don't want to keep repeating myself over and over, but that's why I didn't review this anime, because I wasn't feeling it. And when I don't feel anything, I don't review it. I don't show any interest because I don't think they deserve it. If that's my thought, honestly. But let me know. I'm sure there's people out there that thought it was very awesome, very fresh, something unique. I get it, everybody has their own opinion. I respect that, but this is my honest opinion. That's what I think, and I talked to multiple people, and we feel the same way. We feel like it was a letdown, honestly, for us, the fans. And I'm sure Gamera is gonna be even better. I mean, the animation already looks 10 times better. I mean, when it comes to anime, Japanese is gonna be like the best from Japan. Japan is always gonna be top-notch anime out there, and that's what I love. And it is what it is. This is my review. I'm out. Hope you enjoy. There's one thing I forgot to mention. The other interesting monster that I found was the flying bird. The way that he interacts with Kong, as if Kong owns him as a pet. I found that interesting, the way they work together as a team. They understand each other. There's respect for each other. The way the bird feeds Kong, there's mutual respect between them, right? That's the other thing that I found interesting and very impressive, because I don't want people to go crazy in the comments telling me that I forgot about it, or that I'm not giving full credits, because that's the other true monster that I found interesting and very awesome. The flying bird, the crocodile alligator, aka, yeah, that's the only thing that I found interesting. That's about it.